3D Llama with some Pom Poms acrylic nailer tutorial by Hotpinkzebrapolish.
Hi guys, in today's video I am going to be showing you a really cute little 3D llama that's got pom-poms along the base of the harness, and this is just so, I don't know, summery and bright and pastel and holographic and all of that fun stuff, and the holographic powder and the gel paint that I used to make the harness are from Born Pretty store, and I will show you guys that stuff and I'll put links to it in the description box below, so check that out, and don't forget to click subscribe to see all my future videos as well.
So here are the things from Born Pretty store that I'm going to be showing you. So these are the 3 different colors of my 3D gel paint. And so if you guys are familiar, it's not like a 3D sculpting gel, it's just like a puffy paint. It kind of reminds me of the consistency of fabric paint, the puffy fabric paint. I don't like in the little squeeze bottles. I don't know. I used them in, I was in a dance company and we made dance team shirts. Not dance team, it wasn't. I don't know. But I used them when I was in a dance company when I was about 10. That's all I can think of as far as consistency goes to compare to. With gel, there's so many different consistencies and textures and feels and just the way that they work that I'd like to give you something to really think of how that they feel so that you know if it's something that you think that you could work with. The pigmentation is gorgeous on these. I actually really like the texture and the consistency, and for doing things like the cable knit designs that are ever so popular every winter season, these would be perfect for that. As far as like actually doing 3D, like 3D flowers, unless they're like little roses that you want to take and build up, probably not going to be the thing for that particular job. But obviously, nothing is going to work for everything. So that's just something you have to keep in mind. So I got a really pretty pink, purple, like an eggplant purple, and then kind of a tealy, I think of it as ocean. So I got those 3 colors, and I like to take just a little dab of the color and stick them on the lid so I know what colors are inside. And then I also got my new favorite holographic powder, which is super fine, and it also lets a lot of the underneath color show through. So if you put it on top of purple nails, you will still see that it is purple. It is going to look purple with hollow. It's not going to look like it's hollow with maybe is that purple underneath. So it doesn't take over the underneath color, which you will see in just a moment. So I'm going to take an encase or apply an overlay across my entire nail with a layer of a really super pretty, super soft, kind of jello-y lavender color. The reason I say jello-y is because it's not 100% opaque. It's got a little bit of fluctuation in the color, which I like. It's just a gorgeous kind of cloud color. And then I'm going to encase it with a layer of clear acrylic. I love how when I'm trying to explain things, and I can't think of the word, or if there is a word that I'm trying to come up with, I just keep throwing out weird words. Like I called this cloud, and I don't know why I called it a cloud. Sometimes I say the weirdest things, but after it's encased with a layer of clear acrylic, I'm going to be filing it into shape with my e-file. So I started out with a really coarse bit just to go over the entire thing and make sure it is really nice and smooth. And then I'm going to go over with a much finer bit to make it easier to work on top of. And that's also going to make your holographic powder look a little bit more smooth because it's going to make the gel polish or the gel top coat that goes to adhere your chrome powder a little bit more smooth. So everything that's smoother just ends better. So no wipe gel top coat, then grab your little sponge applicator and start applying this chrome powder, and as you can see, the nail still looks lavender, just with a gorgeous holographic essence on top of it. Then apply some gel sealer and cure that again, and then you are ready to llama-fy this guy. So I'm going to start my llama with a layer of white acrylic, but llamas are in all different shapes and colors, so you can make your llama whatever color you'd like. I wanted to keep this kind of really bright, so I didn't want to use any or too much tans or browns or anything on my llama because I wanted my pom-poms and the little harness that my llama's wearing to be super bright and fun and springy. And so after I have that little bit started, I did add obviously some tan. So I used some tan on her muzzle. So there is just a little bit for that muzzle shape, and then I'm going to be adding the white ears. So there's the first ear. And I'm working on top of the gel sealer. I actually really like it. I go back and forth whether I prefer to work on top of gel sealer or if I prefer to work on top of something that's going to grab the acrylic a little bit more. So just the filed base, but sometimes, it's nice to go back. And with a bigger design like this, normally I would recommend not having gel sealer on it, but it worked out really well for this, especially the white acrylic I have has a better consistency to work on top of it. It holds its shape up a little bit. Sometimes if you're working on top of a gel sealer, you put the bead of acrylic down and it just spreads out into this massive pancake, and you have to keep working on pulling it back in. This white holds its shape better, so it's not going to do that as much. But after I have the ears done, I kind of created like a little indent in them, kind of like a leaf, and then I filled them in with just a touch of pink acrylic. I'm going to be adding a second layer of the tan color on top of my llama's muzzle, and then before that layer fully sets, I'm going to use the tip of my little 3D sculpting brush to sort of carve in and push in for the nostrils and the split lip. Now, working with acrylic paint, I'm going to be adding brown little details to that muzzle, so inside the nostrils, down the split lip, and your little smile. And then using the brown, I'm going to be doing my outlines on my llama. So going around the ears, around the sides of the head, not too many outlines. I didn't, go crazy and outline the inside of the ears or the muzzle. Basically just the perimeter. And then with white paint, I'm going to add some highlights. So I added little dashed lines or dotted line highlights all over the neck and on the top of the head and a little bit on the ears. That's going to give you a really woolly, furry appearance. And then I'm going to make my llama winking. So I have one eye that is a U shape and closed, and then the other eye that's kind of a U shape that's filled in with eyelashes above it and a couple little dots of reflection in that one. And then I'm going to be using that gel paint that I showed you in the beginning of the video. Starting with pink, I'm going to add the first little stripe of the harness, like so. And then I'm going to add, after that's cured, I'm going to take and with the teal color, add a thinner line above that. And with this llama design, I did another llama almost exactly a year ago that was for Cinco de Mayo. This one wasn't necessarily for Cinco de Mayo. It just was a coincidence that it was uploaded in May at all. But they'd be very complementary together. So if you guys like this one, I'll put a link to that one in the description box below. So if you guys are doing a fun little llama set, these two would be 2 peas in a pod. So check that one out too. After I have that teal, I did some purple little upside down and right side up V shapes across the pink layer, and then teal dots on top of the teal stripe. Flash cure that whenever you see fit. But then I'm going to apply matte top coat over my llama, making sure I avoid the harness, but that actually doesn't need top coat. It's perfectly cured at the end there. But then I'm going to take some little pom poms like I showed you guys, and I'm going to be gluing those along the bottom edge of the harness. So I have 3, a purple, a blue, and a pink. And I'm just going to glue those all around there. Like I said, the other llama design would be perfectly complementary. It has little tassels on it, so they would just really go together. And it just kind of cracks me up. They're very different, but they'd just be perfect. So I hope you guys like this design as much as I do. I am definitely a llama fanatic. I really can't get enough. I think that they're sassy and sarcastic and hilarious and furry. I'm a fan of furry. So I hope you guys like this as much as I do. And please share any recreations with me on Facebook or Instagram. I'd love to see them. And I will see you in my next video. Bye!